that story inspires me every time I see it, Nivriti. And Priya, this thing about the BRO Women Task Force, how difficult is it for women in the film industry, especially when you're on outdoor locations like the one that you just saw? Is it, have things improved now in the last couple of years?
You know, I have to make an attempt to not be sarcastic to answer these questions because it is difficult. The only part that is difficult for women when we are on outdoor locations are when there are no mindful arrangements for toilets.
Yes.
The difficult part. I don't think there is any difference in, what I mean. I've shot a couple of war films now, and the question would keep coming up about, am I capable enough? Will I be able to handle the pressure enough? I think these questions these come from men, honestly,
Right.
because I don't think a woman would question a woman whether she can handle pressure or she can handle whether she's physically able to. I mean, women have babies. I
Yes.
don't think you put a man in the same position, I think he would be out for a year after he had a baby. So I don't think strength of a woman is anything to be questioned.
Right, right.
These questions don't come from women, they come from men. So when when there are more women in these positions, there are more women making decisions for women, then I think all these questions will be put on the back burner, including whether women can lead in the army or women can shoot films. All these
Yes.
questions come when men question.
Right. Okay,
Also,
I
I
rest my
think
case.
I think like Priya was saying, it's a
Yes.
mindset thing,
It is a
right?
mindset,
So,
yes.
for instance, one of the interviewees for my story on women in boardrooms, right?
Yes.
She had gone to actually make a pitch to a promoter,
Yeah.
and so after that pitch, when she wanted to use the restroom, there was no restroom for a lady.
Yes.
So so the promoter was like, "Oh, we don't expect you are one of the few who come here," but
Right.
so that's, I think it requires a lot of sensitization right from the start, and it's not a question of questioning women's capabilities. It's just maybe a question of having more real life examples out there. More women present, more women in leadership roles, more women who are present, so that these things are then ironed out.
And a day when we celebrate Men's Day also with Women's Day.
With Women's Day,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes, so actually I must tell you ladies that there were, we had Surgeon Vice Admiral Aarti Sareen in the office a few days ago, and she said that, look, I really look forward to the day when we don't celebrate Women's Day at all, because it's kind of getting a little uncomfortable. But on that note, Gunjan, I want to ask you about how India is ranked 127th on the global index of the Global Gender Gap report, and the female ratio in the workforce is just 78 to 18%. The contribution of women to the GDP is just 18%, and these are abysmal numbers.
And they make 50% of the voters.
Of the voters, exactly. I mean, these are abysmal numbers, especially at a time when you're talking about Nari Shakti.
Yeah, so I'll take an example for my own industry. I come from non industry.
Yes.
Okay, so before,
and you've played, I must add that you've played your part in ensuring that women, aren't washing clothes, and you've done that thing with UClean.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because men wash it for the women at UClean. Yes. But even when I started, it was really difficult. I just, just to kind of give everyone a taste of how it feels like being the only woman in a men's only industry. So when I started this business with my husband, now we were working with a lot of grey-collared and blue-collared workforce. Right. And I was the only girl in the entire office. I was the only girl in the entire field of the work where we had our store and etc. Because it's my business, I wanted to learn everything. I was with my own hands washing clothes and doing ironing for our customers. And there used to be men used to get so uncomfortable around me, my own team. And even in my own team, it took me so many years of proving my mettle, of, working shoulder to shoulder with all of the guys to earn respect. It was not like that I was the boss or I started this company and I've hired you. I'm paying your salaries that you will automatically give me respect. Right. It was never like that. It was like gradually years it took me to prove myself in an industry like this. And I'm so glad I've kind of paved the way for women to look at this as a profession, as well as a lot of our franchisees have been encouraged. Earlier, we were only men who used to come to us for a franchise. Today, we have a
Right.
good 18 to 20% women franchisees in the business. So I'm very happy that I did it because it, I mean, whenever I used to look around, I never used to find a single woman
Right.
like 7 years ago when I
Absolutely. We're
started this.
Also,
completely.
I want
Yes.
to ask, Gunjan, she said that, it took me, you said that it took me, years to prove yourself and you had to work shoulder to shoulder. Also, in cases, it's about women having to, prove themselves, work doubly harder. So, when do you think that is actually, not going to be the norm? Because you do have to prove, and I don't think a man in this case would have to, kind of prove himself or work doubly harder or put in. And this is when you are dealing with household. This is when, we women don't have it easy at work. You are dealing with stuff at home, you are dealing with stuff in the office, and you're literally having, so how, I want to know how you did that, and
So it was very difficult because, I had a very parallel example with me because my husband, by the virtue of being a man, he was automatically like he's the boss, chief, and this is how very respectfully he was always treated, always sought opinions. And I, when I was like really toiling hard, a lot of times my opinion in this boys' clubs, even in my own company, were like rubbished as undoable or something which was like crazy, we can't do it, or or as simple as the men do not want to even make an effort to make those changes happen, which are right there for everyone to see that it will improve economies, it will improve efficiencies. They would just not listen or pay heed to the suggestion. And a lot of times I had to like really roll up my sleeves and get down to work to show them
Right.
that this can be done,
Right.
because just because it's coming from me doesn't mean that it can be rubbished off, right?
Absolutely.
So yes, and I was raising a family. I mean, I we started the company, and a year and a half later, I become a mother. So I'm raising a family. I'm doing the business. I'm working on the ground with them. And after so many years, and even during my maternity,
Gunjan, I'm going to
all
ask you to
cancers.
wrap up. I'm so sorry, we're completely out of time. But what a fascinating discussion. We must continue this after this show. But thank you very much, Radhika, Gunjan, and Priya, and my colleagues Lakshna and Nivriti for joining us on Manning the World Women's Day today. And I sincerely look forward to the day when we don't have to celebrate another Women's Day, especially
or we
an
can
international
celebrate
day.
a men's day.
Or we can, yes. Yeah. I'll hold you to that. Thank you very much, ladies. So wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you.